Hello friends, in last video we seen what is NLP, how it is used in artificial intelligence, what are the different steps of process to perform natural language processing, which is a base of artificial intelligence to make intelligent interfaces in real world. Today we are going to discuss syntactic processing, semantic processing, interpretation of sentences, how all these concepts are combined to make such intelligent system based on natural language processing. So main goal of syntactic processing is determining whether a sequence of symbols constitute a legal sentence. From a different sets of sentence, we have to determine whether a sequence of symbols constitute in a legal sentence. Assigning a phrase constituent structure to legal sentence for later processing. This is the main goal of syntactic processing. Now, what are the different grammars and parsing techniques? We need a grammar in order to parse. Grammar is equals to formal specification of structures allowed in a languages. As we already know, basically whatever language is having a grammar, which is a formal specification of structures allowed in a language. Now, what are the most common way? Production rules. Given a grammar, we also need a parsing technique or a method of analyzing a sentence to determine its structure according to the grammar. Next, now natural language and context-free grammars. Now, context-free grammars are a good choice because it is a powerful enough to describe most natural language structure, and also it is restricted enough to allow for efficient parsing. So basically two things are there whenever we are using natural language. With context-free grammars, it is a powerful to describe all the content or all the structure of natural language, and it is restricted enough to allow for efficient parsing. Parsing is the base in natural language processing. So a context-free grammar rules with a single symbol on the left hand side, which indicates as that we seen in result of semantic analysis. S tends to noun phrase and verb phrase. So our sentence is composed of noun phrase followed by a verb phrase, which is a CFG rule, context free grammar rule, within a single symbol on left hand side, and on the right hand side whatever sentence which is a combination of noun phrase and verb phrase. A simple example, a parse tree for John at the cat. Now first CFG, context free grammar, left hand side symbol, right hand side noun phrase, verb phrase. Now verb phrase is verb and noun phrase followed by noun phrase. Noun phrase is name, noun phrase art, n. So name tends to John, we tends to at, art tends to the, and tends to cat. So basically we can form the parse tree for John at the cat as consisting of noun phrase, verb phrase. Noun phrase is name, name is John. Verb phrase indicates verb followed by noun phrase. So verb V is at, noun phrase are art and n, art is the, and n is cat, which is a simple example of parse tree. Now there are two types, top down and bottom up. Simple top down parse, as you can see, S noun phrase, verb phrase, name, verb phrase, John, verb phrase, John, verb, noun phrase, John at, noun phrase, John at art, n, John at the, n, John at the cat. So simple top down parse begin with the start symbol and apply the grammar rules forward until terminal symbol is passed. Now simple bottom up parse, which is the opposite of top down parse. First name at the cat, name at the cat, name v the cat, name verb art cat, name v art n, name v np, noun phrase verb art n, noun phrase v np, noun phrase verb phrase and s. So simple bottom up parse begin with the sentence to be parsed and apply the grammar rules backwards. So which is the opposite of top down parse. Now what is the difference between top down versus bottom up? Similar choice in using each to forward and backward chaining in problem solving. Usually the branching factor is the most important consideration. Is it greater going backward or forward? Another issue, availability of good heuristics. Can use bottom up parsing with top down filtering. Essentially bottom up parsing with top down filtering. So we can say that essentially bottom up parsing, but recomputed tables can be used to immediately eliminate constituents that can never be combined. This is the basic difference between top down versus bottom up. Now next we are going to see interpretation of sentences can often be more than one interpretation, as we can already seen in different languages one sentence having a many interpretations. So a single sentence having a many interpretation, so must decide whether to search all or only a few of the sentence possibilities, or explore only a single most likely one and produce only the result of that one search. For example, have seen this much, so how many paths for have the students who miss the exam? Now two paths. Have is the main verb of imperative sentence. Have the student who missed the exam take it today. Have is the auxiliary verb of interrogative sentence. Have the student who missed the exam taken it today? Question mark. For ways to handle this type of sentences. All paths, base path with backtracking, base path with patch up, and wait and see. So we are starting with all paths. In all paths, follow all possible paths and build all possible intermediate components. Many components will be ignored later. Have, if taken, is not appearing. Inefficient because of the many spurious constituents that will be built. Second way, based path with backtracking. Follow all paths at a time, but recording decision points for later analysis if a path fails. Problems include a lot of time wasted saving state description at each choice point, even though backtracking will only occur to a few of these. Phrases will be reanalyzed wastefully. Choosing the wrong interpretation for have above will lead to the phrase the students who miss the exam being analyzed twice, which is known as backtracking. Based path with patch up. Follow one path at a time, but when an error is detected, shuffle the components that have already been formed. Taking the auxiliary verb definition for have, the noun phrase, the student who missed the exam, becomes the subject of the sentence. If take occurs next, then interpretation is wrong. So, the student who missed the exam was the subject of the sentence, but now becomes the subject of the embedded sentence. The students who missed the exam take it today. And the subject of the main sentence becomes you by default. More efficient approach, but requires interaction amongst the rules of the grammar to be made explicit in the rules for moving components. Next is wait and see. Follow only one path, but leave making decision about the function of each component until enough information is available to make the correct decision. Efficient approach, but if the amount of look ahead necessary is greater than the buffer size, interpreter will fail. Many practical systems find a single plausible interpretation rather than all possible ones. If this interpretation fails for semantic or pragmatic reasons, then a new attempt to find a different interpretation begins. So these are the different steps for the interpretation of sentences. Now we are moving towards semantic processing. Syntactic processing breaks the sentence into components but does not give a meaning for the sentence. Now main purpose is the creation of a target language representation of the sentence's meaning. It is also imposes constraint on the representation that can be constructed and provides a way of selecting among competing syntactic analysis. Imposes constraints because it has access to knowledge about what makes sense in the world. Now, what are the different steps used in semantic processing? First step is to look up the individual words in a dictionary and extract their meanings. So for that we are using lexical analysis. Many words have several meanings, may not choose right meaning with just the word available. Example, diamond has the following meanings: a geometrical shape with four equal sides, a baseball field, an extremely hard and valuable gemstone. Given, John saw Susan's diamond shimmering from across the room. Which meaning should be applied? Need to know that neither geometrical shapes or baseball fields shimmer, but gemstones do. Often the meaning will depend on the knowledge base being used. Take the word mean. Mean, which is a verb to signify mean, adjective, cheap or unpleasant. Mean, noun, statistical average. So different word having a different meaning. If we have a KB describing a statistic program and its operation have two distinct corresponding objects. Statistical concept of a mean, a particular function computing the mean in this program. The word needs to be mapped to one of these to understand it. Lexical ambiguity is a serious problem even in limited domains. Lexical disambiguation, the process of determining the correct meaning, done by associating information about the context in which each of a word's senses may appear. Could mark the baseball field interpretation of a diamond as a location. Then the correct meaning in I will meet you at the diamond is determined if the fact that at requires a time or a location as the object. Other useful semantics markers are physical object, animate object and abstract object. Now using this and the sentence I dropped my diamond, lexical entry from drop specify physical object as the object makes it easier to determine the meaning. However, to solve the ambiguity problem completely, more and more finely grained semantic markers needed to be added. Now, what are the different approaches for semantic analysis? First is semantic grammars combine syntactic, semantic and pragmatic knowledge into a single set of rules in the form of a grammar. Result of parsing is a semantic description of the sentence. Result can be used immediately with no additional processing. Many ambiguities that would arise during pure syntactic parse can be avoided. Syntactic issues that do not affect semantics can be ignored. However, the number of rules can become very large and reduce the efficiency of the parse process. Generally not accepted as a good solution for large unrestricted language interfaces. Case grammars, where the structure built by the parser also contains some semantic information. Different approach where rules are written to describe syntactic rather than semantic regularities, but the structures the rules produce correspond to semantic relation rather than to strictly syntactic ones. Example, Susan printed the file was printed by Susan. The roles of Susan and the file are semantically identical but syntactically different. The result using a case grammar would be a printed agent Susan object file. Conceptual parsing, in which syntactic and semantic knowledge are combined into a single interpretation driven by the semantic knowledge. Syntactic parsing is subordinated to semantic interpretation. Another strategy to find the structure and the meaning in one step. Describe the meaning of words as conceptual dependency structures similar to case grammars. Start with extracting the main noun and verb. More detailed than case grammar in that it also determines the syntactic category and the aspectual class of the verb. Once the correct dictionary entry is chosen, the conceptual processes analyzes the rest of the sentence for the components to fill the verb structure. Approximately compositional semantic interpretation, in which semantic processing is applied to the result of performing a syntactic parse, can be done either incrementally as constituents are built or all at once when a structure corresponding to a complete sentence has been built. Disclosure and pragmatics. So in this video we seen the different approaches of parsing, bottom up, top down. What is the difference? What are the different interpretation of sentences? How it is going to be used as a steps while we are interpreting a sentence? How syntactic processing is different with semantic processing? How lexical ambiguity exists when semantic analysis takes place? And what are the different approaches used for semantic processing, and how it is differ from syntactic processing, and how both are compared with each other? So in next video we are going to see discourse and pragmatic, how both are different from syntactic and semantic processing. Thank you.